Kalau anda pernah terfikir ataupun terdetik, kenapalah aku wujud, anda kena lakukan sesuatu. Kita mempersoalkan kewujudan kita adalah permulaan sebenarnya yang boleh mendorong kita untuk pergi ke perkara yang lebih berat, iaitu suicide. Sebelum you nak fikir you suicide, you akan mempersoalkan kenapa you hidup tau. Pertama, you rasa you tak guna. You tak guna tu in term you tak rasa pun orang merasakan you berbakti kepada dia. You rasa orang tak appreciate you satu. Sebab bila kita down ataupun kita sangat sedih, waktu itu saya tak ada semangat nak buat apa-apa. You nak bangun tidur pun you tak ada semangat. You nak makan pun kadang-kadang you tak nak. You just hilang diri you sendiri tau. You macam hidup dekat dalam diri orang lain. So, my whole family tak tahu yang I ada depression. Lepas 3 bulan barulah macam adik I tahu. Tu pun sebab pihak klinik dan hospital nak dapatkan waris. Kalau apa-apa jadi, dia nak contact waris tu. Itu saja, itu je. For the whole time being tu memang kawan-kawan. I ada dalam, tak ramai, dalam 7 orang kawan yang memang support. Waktu I down tu, waktu I depressed, I tak boleh fokus pun nak drive. Badan you penat sangat. Even you nak drive pun you penat. So I ada seorang kawan yang memang tak apa Wafa, I akan hantarkan you pergi. I ambil 2 jenis ubat. Satu untuk tidur dan juga untuk menenangkan anxiety. Satu lagi anti-depression ubat lah. Tapi kedua sebenarnya yang orang tak faham, bila kita ambil ubat, badan kita tak semudah itu nak terima ubat tau. Sebab badan kita kadang-kadang tak kuat. Ada side effect yang you kena tahan. Antaranya macam mungkin you punya makan you tak berapa nak okey, you tak lalu makan, you asyik rasa nak muntah, and then you macam tak ada mood. Bukan tak ada mood, you tak memberi reaksi kepada apa-apa pun. Maksudnya kalau you nak nangis, you tak boleh nangis. Ubat tu dia ada efek kepada seseorang. Untuk sesi terapi ni dia banyak fokus kepada macam mana you nak bertenang lah, cara-cara you bernafas dan juga benda-benda yang you kena buat. Talian sokongan dekat Malaysia ni ada banyak. Yang terkenal adalah Befriender. Tapi selain Befriender, kita ada Talian Rahmah. Ada banyak lagi lah yang tersedia di Malaysia ni. Tapi yang I guna adalah, ataupun yang I call adalah Befriender. I ingatlah my first experience waktu I call Befriender hari Rabu. Yang angkat adalah seorang kaunselor dah tua. Sebenarnya dalam 10 minit awal I call dia, and then dia cakap hi, hello, and then I just nangis. I tak cakap apa-apa. 10 minit awal tu I just nangis je, and then tapi dia biarkan I nangis. Dia macam no, it's okay, just cry. And then I nangis, and then lepas I dah lega tu barulah macam dia tanya, boleh saya tahu nama awak siapa? Macam tu. Kadang-kadang kalau kita berbual dengan orang yang kita kenal ni, kita takut kita akan dihakimi. Tapi kalau kita call Befriender, mereka adalah kaunselor terlatih satu. Kedua, kita boleh cerita apa sahaja masalah dan perasaan kita, dan kita tahu dia akan habis dekat situ. Kalau anda pernah terfikir ataupun terdetik, kenapalah aku wujud, anda kena lakukan sesuatu. Sebab dia akan kalau dia biarkan lebih lama, secara tidak langsung fikiran anda akan mencari reason yang akan membantu anda ataupun mendorong anda kepada memilih jalan yang berik.
Jalur gemilang, na ne na ne na ne na. Jalur gemilang kan oi. Ini orang muda-muda sikit. Ya. Okay.
Kibarkan.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine. And you're not really fine. You just can't get into it.
Oh, I need to continue. Oh.
I'm really interrupted by the stoppage of the song. I'm sorry, can we cut?
Bawah. Di bawah apa?
Jalur gemilang.
Serious. Maka kami terasa jalur gemilang Kibagalah wawasan merah putih biru kuning Jalur semangat kami semua. Jalur gemilang tanananenanena Jalur gemilang nanenanenanena. Okay.
Kejayaan semakin hampiri dia di kota. Oh, I tak ingat. Beat I ingat.
Keranamu kami semua merdeka. No.
Keranamu kami hidup berjuang demi bangsa keamanan negara. Betul?
Keranamu kami hidup selesa, sumpah budi kemakmuran negara.
Sumpah budi
sorry.
kemakmuran negara.
Alright. Kalau ingat
57
hari bahagia sambut dengan jiwa yang merdeka. Oh, that's the three of it. Oh,
Tanggal 31.
sambut dengan jiwa yang merdeka.
Ramai-ramai menyambut hari merdeka. Merdeka.
Mari kita seluruh warga negara ramai-ramai menyambut hari merdeka. Merdeka. Mari kita
Seluruh rakyat Malaysia.
warga negara
Ramai-ramai menyambut hari merdeka.
Merdeka. 31 bulan 8 57
Mulia.
negara aku merdeka.
I would like to wish all of the Malaysians happy anniversary on our national days. Semoga kita lebih maju dalam segala hal and everything's good upon us. So for the COVID to be ended and life to be returned to the same.
Selamat Hari Merdeka.
Okey, saya ingin mengucapkan selamat menyambut hari kemerdekaan kepada seluruh rakyat Malaysia. Jangan lupa jaga diri. Stay safe.
Selamat Hari Merdeka.
Selamat Hari Merdeka.
Good afternoon and welcome to another of our series of Vibeinars right here on The Vibes. This time around, we celebrate World Mental Health Day on the 10th of October by having our panel of experts for our session titled Are Mental Health Problems Just Millennial Problems? Now, let me introduce our esteemed panelists. First of them is Dr. Haja Salina Abdul Aziz, Head of Hospital Kuala Lumpur's Clinical Research Center and also the head of their Psychiatric and Mental Health Department. Next, we also have Dr. Aida Sharina's Ahmad Adlan, who's a psychiatrist and medical lecturer at the University of Malaya Medical Center. And finally, we have Kenny Lim, Executive Director of Befrienders Kuala Lumpur, which operates a free and confidential emotional support hotline that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, before we hear from our panelists, let me help set the stage for today's discussion. Now, in 2015, the National Health and Morbidity Survey revealed that 4.2 million Malaysians aged 16 and above, that's 29% of us, were struggling with mental health issues. Now, that means 1 in 3 Malaysians have mental health issues, with the highest prevalence among those aged 16 to 19 years old and those from low income families. It is estimated that 20% of Malaysians with mental health disorder will have access to professional care, with social stigma a major explanatory factor for this. So let's jump right in. What does all this mean, and what are the mental health disorders that we're talking about here?
Thank you very much, Mandir, for that kind introduction. I would say that all these statistics are referring to the
You
most
sound like a
common...
million miles away.
Oh, do I? I mean, I'm
Yeah,
right here. I don't have a mic. I'm just next to the,
Okay.
to the computer. It's my computer mic.
Okay.
Yes, all these disorders are most commonly depression, anxiety, and etc., similar things like that.
Okay, I'll jump right into the second question. Dr. Selina, are you seeing this increase in your practice?
Am I Dr. Selina as well? We've got no more experts, have we?
Yeah, I guess you've got to be schizophrenic today.
Great. Well, yes, it's true. In the past, how many years? The numbers have done this and that. The past 1 year, we've seen X, Y, Z. And yes, that is the story from my hospital.
Okay, Kenny, now tell us about the call volume that you have received at the Befrienders in the past year and how it has changed.
Yes, well, definitely this year we've had a really significant increase in calls. I've probably got the number, 43% maybe. Yeah, because and the reasons that people are calling is, you know, financial problems, relationship problems, you know, and the people that call, they feel like they don't have anyone else to talk to, so they call us, and you know, our professional volunteers will help.
Okay, great. Now, the associated social stigma and the low mental health literacy in Malaysia are major barriers that need to be urgently addressed before effective prevention and intervention programs can be put in place. Since mental illness is a taboo in our society, many choose to just neglect their mental health and don't want to think that they are having some serious problems that they need to seek help for. Now, our society's toxic positivity is one of the main causes of these issues. Many will try and convince their minds that there is nothing wrong happening, and even those who choose to seek help are always being belittled by society. Now, would you agree with this?
Yes, I would definitely agree with it, and I can give you an example of. Yes, I can give you the example of a young man who wanted to come see us for treatment, and yet his family said no. I suppose they were too embarrassed or ashamed. They didn't want to acknowledge or accept that their son had mental health issues, and so they refused his treatment. So yes, it's definitely the case that whilst Malaysians feel like they are very modern and forward-thinking, actually in terms of mental health, it's still something that is not properly understood.
Okay. Okay, I'm just a little concerned that I can't hear you clearly enough. The ambient surrounding where I am right now is it's probably at 50% of the volume that I'm hearing from where I'm sitting. So I'm just not comfortable with your level. I don't know whether Bobo knows.
Maybe we can ask Lance or Kobe to get off the call and who wants to come in, because she's got a mic on her headphone.
Oh, okay. What do you think, Bobo?
Can you hear me?
Should we try to do that? Maybe we'll get Kogu off the line then. Kogu, can you disconnect from there for a while? Claire, can you just ask Kulwan?
Yeah,
Yeah, just give her the link.
it's in the group, right? I just said. Hi, knock, knock. Hi to disturb. We do need you. You've got headphones with the mic, right? Can you get on the Zoom call? Monday is complaining that I don't have a mic and I'm very quiet. So I want to see if somebody has a mic. Yes, please.
Instead of doing raisins to the people.
Hi.
What? Who is
We are live and awaiting.
sending the
You want me to tell raisins?
So if I
She is,
stand up,
signing up.
you can.
I think it's in the group. I'll just check. Yeah, it's in the text group. Are you in the text group? No.
No, I don't go.
Oh,
No.
Okay, fine, I'll call you. Where's your number? I'll have to say the number first.
Let me give me yours.
016.
volume up. Don't know whether this is a full volume.
Wait, let me check my volume.
Her volume is okay. Okay. Bobo says your volume is okay.
All right.
Okay, cool. I'm waiting for the indication to start. Okay, go. All right. I'm going to do it one more time from the top because Dr. Kulwant has missed that, of course. Good afternoon. Welcome to another of our series of Vibeinars right here on The Vibes. This time around, we celebrate World Mental Health Day on the 10th of October by having our panel of experts for our session, Are mental health problems just millennial problems? Somebody's microphone is on, is it? Ah, okay. Now, let me introduce our esteemed panelists. First of them is Dr. Hajar Abdul Aziz, head of Hospital Kuala Lumpur's Clinical Research Center, and also the head of their Psychiatric and Mental Health Department. Next, we have Dr. Aida Sharinas Ahmad Adlan, psychiatrist and medical lecturer at the University of Malaya Medical Center. And finally, Mr. Kenny Lim, Executive Director of Fulldress Kuala Lumpur, which operates a free and confidential emotional support hotline that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, before we hear from our panelists, let me help set the stage for today's discussion. The 2015 National Health and Morbidity Survey revealed 4.2 million Malaysians aged 16 and above, that's 29% of us, were struggling with mental health issues. Hang on a second. Are we, okay, just thought, our population is 32 million. 4.2 is not 29% of that.
But the whole population includes under 16s, doesn't it?
Oh,
This is 16 and over. I'm not sure if it's correct.
yeah, I know. You got to double check that.
The stat should be correct.
Yeah,
Because
the math doesn't bear out, but there might be some
I
mistake
guess
on
you
it.
have to calculate how many children
Yeah.
there are running around.
No problem. 1 in 3 Malaysians have mental health issues, with the highest prevalence among those aged 16 to 19 years old and those from low-income families. It is estimated that only 20% of Malaysians with mental disorder will access professional care, with social stigma a major explanatory factor for this. So let's jump right into this. What does all this mean, and what are the mental disorders that we're talking about here, Dr. Kulwant? The standard Zoom thing is Dr. Kulwant, your microphone.
My apologies here, really, because I've been trying very hard to hear what you've been saying, but your volume has been going up and down.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it wasn't very clear.
Ah, good point there. Why wasn't the volume very clear? Microphone's here.
It's like there's a sound wave.
That's
Too
weird.
close.
It sounds fine to me.
Sorry?
It sounds fine to me.
Okay. Bobo said because Kulwant's probably too close. So anyway, I'm going to repeat that question, Kulwant. What does all this mean, and what are the mental disorders we're talking about here? Can you hear that clearly?
Yes, I heard you clearly.
Okay, cool. No problem. And so next question is, Dr. Selina, are you seeing this increase in your practice, Dr. Selina Claire?
Oh, Dr. Selina Claire, of course. Well, that would be me. And yes, I can confirm the stats are real. I've got tons more patients now.
So why do we have this increase? Is life getting harder, or is it that just millennials cannot cope with this? Dr. Kulwant.
It's a possibility that millennials haven't been prepared to cope with this because they have a totally different upbringing.
Different upbringing, okay. By different upbringing, are you at all saying that the parents didn't beat them enough?
I think they have been, I won't say they're pampered, but I think parents have been very, a little extra careful with them, meaning that trying not to expose them to too many things.
Right.
We, the older generation, have been exposed to more reality in life, whereas because we went through that period, we try very hard not to let our children face that kind of issues.
All right. Well, Dr. Claire, what is your opinion on what Dr. Kuruan has just shared with us? That the millennials are being protected too much by their parents.
I mean, yes, it's a common complaint, and perhaps I would talk more about the fact that today there's much more awareness of mental health issues. So maybe in the past, you know, the idea was to just keep your head down and keep on going. And you know, the older generation just buried a lot of trauma, which, you know, it's not really good, is it?
Yes.
A little bit of both.
Right. Well, I can't hear you clearly.
Oh, yeah. Cool one, can you hear me?
Not clearly.
Oh, no, maybe I've got a terrible speaker. How do I change that? I mean, a terrible.
Yeah, like see, your last 5 words were unclear.
Wow.
It's like you are filtered. Claire, it sounds like you are filtered.
It wasn't like this the other day, was it? I never had a mic before. And you never complained before.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know why.
Is Desmond there? No. Huh?
No, he's
on.
at another session.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Closing. Okay, in closing, we find that data from 2018 shows that there's only 410 psychiatrists in our country, with a national average of 1.27 psychiatrists per 100,000 populations. Now, this is much lower than the World Health Organization's recommended ratio of 1 psychiatrist per 10,000 population. Who do we blame for this? In closing. Any thoughts on who we should blame for it?
There's nobody to blame. It's just part of life.
That we don't have enough psychiatrists. That other countries have more psychiatrists.
Yeah, it could be
one of your stats. Malaysia is spending roughly the same as other countries in our price bracket, but we also know that's not really good enough. So trying to get with the program.
Okay, yeah, you sound like a million miles away. I can see you clearly, but I can't hear you well. Some of the words seem to be eaten. We definitely have to work on this sound a little bit. Imagery, I think, is fine. After this, when we run through the tape, the recording, we just try to make sure that the levels that I can't hear, whether other people can hear it. According to what Bobo says, it's pretty all right. And also, I'm just curious to see the volume that while I'm talking right now, the ambient sound that's going on around me, how much is it being picked up here? We haven't asked anyone to keep quiet, which is fine, just for these levels to understand those levels. Because there is a TV going on somewhere and people are having conversations. So I'm just curious to see how much of a level of disturbance that is in the whole thing.
Fine, there's not much disturbance. It's just that the sound waves, your voice is not very
clear.
It's not clear one, and it's the sound keeps going up and down. That's about it.
All right.
Otherwise, the background sound is not an issue.
Okay. The background sound is not an issue to you. Claire, to you?
Oh, it's fine.
Bobo, is the background sound? Okay. Okay. This is manageable. I mean, this just cannot be distracting to the people who are watching it. And I think if it's a low enough level, it's fine. Because we can hear ourselves and see everything. Okay. Bobo has just indicated to just keep going and end up with the closing That's so sure. And so let's see, where do I go with the closing? Well, come, I'll go right down to the bottom of this that shows, oh, okay, 10 things that you can do to stay mentally well. First thing is value yourself, take care of your physical health. Number 3 is establish strong family and social support. Be a volunteer. Number 4, learn how to deal with stress. That's number 5. Relax your mind. Remember to set realistic goals. Break up the monotony. Avoid alcohol and drugs. And always seek help. Well, those are 10 things that you can do to ensure that you are mentally well and keep yourself active. And of course, we're going to be showing you a list of organizations that you can reach out to in case you need help. We'll put that list up right after this. Thank you very much. How's it, Bobo?